But first, we're catching up with Adam, who's been in Lincolnshire, meeting up with an ex-serviceman who's helping to repair the lives of fellow veterans through farming.
Wide open spaces and nutrient-rich soils make Lincolnshire an agricultural land of plenty.
Walking in the quiet countryside across this lovely old meadow gives a feeling of peacefulness in this corner of Britain. And it's this sense of calm that's found in the landscape that's helped one local farmer turn his life around after nearly 20 years at war.
Jamie Quinn served in the RAF ground forces during both the Belize and the Falklands conflict. Then, in 1998, he was discharged with post-traumatic stress disorder. He struggled for more than a decade, and gradually his condition worsened. He was unable to work, and his life was turned upside down.
You must be Jamie.
Yeah, hello, Adam.
Good to see you. Well, lovely Jersey cow.
Yeah, she calved last week.
The turning point came in January this year, when, with the help of his friends and family, Jamie took on a 100-acre tenanted farm.
So how did you come about taking on this farm?
Well, I've worked out that at my age and with my disabilities, going into paid employment was probably not a viable option anymore, and worked out that my skill set was suitable towards agriculture. And then lo and behold, 2 miles from home, 97 acres came up, and our offer was accepted.
Jamie, can you explain where you were when you were at your worst, really, about a year ago?
Well, I was isolating myself, not talking to people. Personal hygiene was not a high priority. In some of my sort of darkest periods, I've literally gone and moved in with the cattle for 2 or 3 days and actually slept in the cow shed along with the cow. They are, you know, there is a cow out there that you could probably say saved my life.
There is a relation, do you think, between what you've learned in the forces to working on a farm?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not least of which we're used to being out in all weathers, and we're all used to working with anything from a spade right the way up to some quite sophisticated equipment. Farming is a very stressful occupation. It could be that it's the right sort of stress for that individual.
Jamie is still on his first year at the farm, but has already taken on a herd of Aberdeen Angus and Lincoln Reds.
These are calves that we bought in. They're a mixture of Hereford crosses with dairy shorthorns and Aberdeen Angus crossed with the Holstein. Recently we've just got into the Lincoln Reds, which are ideal for me because the Lincoln Red is, you know, has a reputation for being easy calving, saves on vet bills, quiet and placid, and a frugal animal.
That's great. Well, they make lovely cows for breeding, won't they?
Yeah, I particularly like these ones. In fact, we're looking at probably keeping one ourselves to expand the herd in due course. But obviously, we've got to keep the bank manager happy in these early days.
So it's about cash flow, moving stock through.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now Jamie is helping others like himself to get back on track. Today he's invited 3 fellow ex-servicemen to the farm to teach them the ropes. Penny Connaughton from the charity Farm Able helps veterans struggling with PTSD to find work on farms like Jamie's.
Penny, can you explain to me what PTSD is all about and what these guys are experiencing?
Post-traumatic stress can be flashbacks, nightmares, waking up in the night screaming, can come out years after the actual trauma. The average time is usually about 14 years.
14 years later seems like an extraordinarily long time. Jamie seems to be getting on very well on this farm.
Yeah.
How is it helping, do you think?
Just having the space and the freedom around to be able to choose what he does, how he works, and at his own pace. It's a wonderful healing mechanism. And also being together with the guys that know what they're going through. They've all been somewhere in a war situation, and so they all have this camaraderie. And it isn't just about the veteran, it's the families too. Everybody is affected in that family unit. And if you can get the understanding and coping mechanisms within the family and bring them to something like this, the successes are amazing.
Kevin served in the Navy for 13 years and saw conflict in the Falklands, while more recently Gary completed several tours in Iraq.
Do you mind me asking, how you got into the position you were in?
It goes back to a long way, about 82. I don't want to go too deeply into it, but I will say that the ship I was on was the first one sunk in the Falklands.
And what is it about the farm environment, do you think, that helps you?
I've never been into farms, and yet I come here and I can forget anything and everything.
For most people, we're in Civvy Street and we've got no idea what people in the military have gone through. How do you adapt to that coming home?
I think that's one of the most difficult parts, especially for me. It was kind of left the tours behind. It was trying to adapt to becoming a civilian again, when really you've still got that mindset. So at the time I went back to what I knew, and that was still drinking. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, instead of leaving it until the very last minute, until the money's run out and the beer's run out and all your options are kind of run out, just get out there, speak to them, be around like-minded people, be around the people that have been through what you've been through.
Had a good time today?
Yeah, it's been a really good time, yeah. Surprisingly, I wouldn't have saw myself on a farm really, to be honest. So it's a bit of a shock, but yeah, it's good.
So I'll give you a little tip. So if you have your hand like that, you can just put their legs in your hand, and then they'll just sit on you like that.
Let's have a try.
That's it. Yeah, a quick learner. Beautiful. Look at that. Whoa.
Jamie has even started reviving some age-old farming practices to keep the veterans on their toes.
Jamie, this is brilliant. How did you get into training oxen?
It was a bet with a local farmer.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on then, missus. Walk on.
He had a calf that lost its mother. It was a Hereford, but he said, well, if you can train it as a draft animal, you can have it. And we were both sober at the time. Yeah, Mum.
Incredible. We used to have a few on the farm back home, but we haven't got it in the moment. It's lovely to see them working. Whoa!
Oh, that's a good girl. It's something that's completely new to them. Everybody's on the same level, having to work with the land, not against it, with the animal, not against her, and together as a team. And obviously, the odd mistake happens, and that is fair game for a bit of leg pulling and banter.
With Jamie's help, FarmAble hope to get 2 veterans working on farms in every county in the UK, enabling homeless or troubled heroes to connect with the land.
It's been great meeting the guys, and interesting that many tenanted farms like this one would have been used originally to provide work for heroes returning from World War I. And now Jamie, who has also served for Queen and Country, is using the land and animals to help inspire others. He's sharing his experiences and knowledge of farming to help repair the lives of many of his fellow veterans.